Hello and welcome in, Virgos. This is Lauren the Mystic here with a general reading for you. There's been an energetic shift and I just really wanted to do an energy check-in. So we've got some oracle messages, some guidance messages for you, some angelic tarot, and a wisdom oracle from this new deck that I got that's just beautiful called Wisdom of the Divine Feminine. And so we're going to start there. If you are new to my channel, thank you for joining me. I'm excited that you're here, and I hope that you find a message that will support you. If you're returning, thank you for joining again. It is my pleasure to be here with you. As always, these are general readings, so really just simply tune into the energetic archetypes that I will describe and see how that can best apply for you. All right, so let's get started, Virgos. We have Intuition as your first card out. And this is from that the Wisdom of the Divine Feminine. And what I'd like to do is read you what is in the book, the beginning description that they use, because I think this is really setting the tone for the rest of your reading. I know, I feel, I trust. I listen to my own understanding without a need for a rational validation. Vibrations rippling at the heart, warm and vibrant and true, swirling in the gut, a feeling without words or a need for words. The body speaking its own language, a language of light, sensation, and the unseen. Truth, trust, listen. And so Virgo, this is an incredibly strong message just right off the forefront. I really want to unpack some of these tarot cards before I go any further on some of the intuitive guidance, because there's really just a wealth. I could talk all day about intuition. And just so you know, Virgo, I have pre-shuffled and just pre-pulled cards specifically for you. So we've got them out and we could kind of skip that part of the video. So your first card out is the Nine of Water. And this is really a card about a wish coming true, a concern of yours that's fading away. And it's about really embracing a love of life. But what this mermaid is doing is coming up from all this emotional depth. The water here represents the emotional depth. And if you see here in the card, the riches, his or her riches, it looks like a her, they're all underneath the water here. And so to me, this really speaks to a deep emotional process that you may have been going through, potentially doing some deep diving on your own emotionally and finding a wealth and the riches of what you've maybe worked through or moved through. You have overcome something that really has been within the depths of some type of an emotional space that has felt limiting to you. And now it's as if the treasures have been unearthed and you have found them. And then we've got here, next card out, Four of Fire. Just look at the energy of that card, Virgo. And this card really speaks to a sense of contentment, of peace, of creating abundance in your life. It's about really creating a happy home and creating balance within either the successful completion of a project, or perhaps it's something that you're working on building in your home life that feels as if it's got this element of building and success. Because this card is really speaking of you creating that type of contentment in your life, you creating that type of abundance, and as a result, peaceful peace is incoming. You know, it creates this surrounding peace within that area of your life. So then we've got the Queen of Air coming in, who could represent a divine feminine in your life, or this could just be energies that you yourself are embodying. The Queen of Air is very Virgoan anyways. They're very independent, very witty, very mentally astute, and they bring objective decision making to the table. So this could be, Virgo, about you needing to exercise your own objectivity when it comes to making a decision, perhaps detaching from the outcome and really truly making the best decision for yourself, regardless of how you feel about the circumstances. This is about clearing away what does not serve you in your life going forward, and really having that ability to cut it out if needed, to sever that energetic connection, whether that's a thought, a belief, a way of being that's not serving you. Perhaps it has to do with some of the maybe emotional depths you were diving into here, and you could have potentially seen things that you were carrying that are truly weighing you down and getting in the way of you building this contentment, this peace and abundance here for yourself. And, you know, as we're going through, what I'm hearing in about the intuition is that part of what you are now embodying as this Queen of Air is not only the mental process of weighing this out in your mind, but really tuning into the intuitive aspect, which is a mental energy, even though it's also somatic, right? It's felt senses throughout the body. I hope that card doesn't get flagged because it's slightly artistically pornographic, but not really. It's a beautiful card. But what I'm getting right here intuitively is that this Queen of Air has, see the globe that she's holding here with the unicorn inside, and that crown across her third eye with the jewel stone right there. I feel like this Queen of Air has really just had her third eye visioning abilities come online, and that's part of her mental process now. Now she also uses her intuitive knowing, and that's become very realistic, right? That's become pragmatic, a pragmatic way for this queen to operate, because it only makes sense to her that she would be tuning into her intuitive knowing as she's making very important decisions. And when we are tuning into our intuitive aspects of self, we are able to take that objective perspective a bit. We're able to zoom out and view things from more of a soul's growth perspective. And it does tend to depersonalize difficult situations. So perhaps that is the advice here too, is to, with your own energetic mastery, tune into your intuition and your abilities that are really guiding you into your own ability to vision. Because right here, what I'm seeing her doing is really holding this crystal ball that she's gazing within, and then she's seeing the vision within that crystal ball. So then we're moving into the Two of Water, which is both about, it's about overcoming basically a conflict. This is emotional energy again, being down in the depths with someone and needing to work through a situation or a conflict or something that's going on that's creating a little bit of hardship. And it's about growing closer through the process, bringing forgiveness to the table, bringing teamwork to the table, and a positive resolution coming from that desire to work together and to overcome the situation together. So again, tune into however this is landing. This could also be part of a process here. I'm hearing this only for some Virgos, okay? So for a lot of Virgos, I feel like this is relationship oriented. So there's kind of a few camps that I'm picking up on right now. So for some of you, there's real shifts in your relationship, and there's been a need to go through this emotional, almost purging process and evaluation process in order to determine how you can grow this vision, basically, that you're holding. And as you started out, your intuition came online. You really started to begin to perceive and understand things in a different way, which has changed the trajectory some. And it's gotten you to this crossroads, really, where something may have happened. And for those of you that this is resonating with, some of you are working through it. Some of you are releasing the relationship. We've got the release card here with Archangel Azrael. But this could just simply be the release of a difficult phase or a difficult aspect of the relationship. Perhaps it's the release of a hurt, that something came up, some type of conflict that was really a conflict that caused you to go into your emotional depths about the situation. And you may be simply releasing that. But as this process has unfolded, a spiritual transformation's been taking place within you. And it's time for you to really level up. It's time for you to move into a different direction, to allow whatever is leaving and clearing, whether that's simply a conflict, whether that is the actual ending of some type of a relationship, or it could be ending of a way of being. You could be letting go of aspects of your own self here, because this is also indicating this deep, kind of this self-actualization journey that's included elements of both self-love, really becoming real with yourself, really looking yourself in the mirror and getting honest. And as a result of your willingness to do just that, a spiritual transformation has begun to take place in this way, where now you are bringing to the table not only your amazing Virgo attributes that you naturally hold, but now this entirely new aspect of your own psychic senses, your own intuition, your own inner visioning has come online for you, and you're able to really tune in. But what Spirit is asking, what the angels are guiding you toward, is to the number one here, I'm going to have to, I'll cover this part of the card. The number one thing for you to be listening to as your guidepost here is your intuition. It is to listen to that somatic listening within the body, what the signals within your body are telling you. And if you are finding yourself in relationships or jobs or circumstances that are really not a hell yes within your body, within your knowing, then it's time for you to release those as well. Because what that's not doing is that's not creating your dreams. It's not building this four of fire that you are determined to build for yourself. And so it's really about evaluating what is coming with you and what is not. What is worth the investment of your time? Where are the riches for you and where are they not? And becoming practical in a new way, where your intuition is speaking to you and telling you a deeper side of the story, so that you are now seeing things are way beyond the material. They're way beyond surface level now. It's way beyond, for you, something looking good on paper. This is about the gut knowing within your heart of hearts, that vision that you know to be true, that your intuition and your body is really responding to. And so let's move now to your spiritual guidance cards that we have. And the first card out is I Remember. And this is about coming into a recent recognition, or perhaps a growing recognition, that you are a beautiful soul living in a human physical body in this one lifetime, but that soul has been traveling, and it's been, having potentially a multitude of lifetimes leading you up to this lifetime. And after this life, your soul will continue to move on. And there's this recognition that your soul has a plan, that there is more of a higher purpose or a higher aspect of yourself that's guiding you forward. And this is about remembering that, remembering the difference, and shifting the difference between seeing things as fate versus seeing things as destined to happen, as something that truly is meant to be in your path. This is about also having a deeper spiritual awakening. So whether this has just begun for you or whether this is deepening right now, this is opening you up into your cosmic connections and the fact that you are traveling with your guides, you're traveling with your angels, with ancestors supporting you in this lifetime, if that is what you believe in. And that you can call upon those guides for assistance, but that is of free will. You must ask. Our guides are not able to intervene without our personal request to ask them, invite them in to our lives. But we can get creative, Virgo. We can invite them in a multitude of ways, okay? So it doesn't just simply need to be and asking for guidance. If there's something that we're really struggling with, we can also ask our guides, our angels, to work on our behalf behind the scenes, to allow them to take over, because they have access to unlimited knowledge that our conscious mind might not be able to grasp in the moment. But because of that, we can have faith that our guides are really supporting our efforts in what we might be struggling through, right? So your next card is interesting. The Great Severing. Virgos, this is really, for those of you who I was really picking up on the need to release. So again, apply this to how it's coming up, because I'm feeling into a multitude of storylines within the Virgo collective. So some of you, this is deeply relationship issues. Some it's simply a conflict in a relationship. Some it's releasing the relationship itself. For others of you, this is about shifting and doing some deep personal growth here, and shifting and releasing parts and aspects of yourself that you realize have not been leading you to this 4 of fire that you're working on. So you're letting go, and there's been this going within process where it's really kind of, you've been identifying some of these aspects of yourself that you may not really love, right? And so it has seemed like you've been in the process of resolving some deep aspect. So whether that's in relationships or whether that's relationship to self here that we're talking. But again, we were talking about working through a conflict and making these quick and objective decisions, clearing away what doesn't serve you. And here you have the great severing, which is bringing that Mars energy, Mars is the planet that's known for cutting. It's known for its ability to sever, to be exacting if needed. It could be very Virgoan a little bit in that aspect, direct to the point. This could represent an actual conflict occurring, which would sever a relationship. This could also represent you softening in the face of conflict in order to work together to grow closer through whatever the conflict might be, and then find a positive resolution. So that potentiality is absolutely here. And I think for those of you that this applies, you're going to know. And again, this all boils back down to your intuition. Your intuition is already guiding you. Your body's guiding you. I apologize for those noises in the background, by the way. That is my dog upstairs romping around and shifting his position on the floor. He's a big boy. He's like 100 pounds, adorable. He's a mixture, and I think that he's part Bernese, and we definitely know his mom is a lab, but he is going to be 9 years old this January, and he's a grumpy old man at this point. He's starting to get to be one. But anyways, back to your reading, Virgo. Sorry about that little aside. This all boils down to your intuition, right? And so whatever this is that's being severed, you're going to have an intuitive knowing. Unless you are part of the camp where there is a sudden conflict and it comes on quickly. But I think a lot of you are already tuned into this, right? This has been a process that you've been working on something. You've been already doing the work. So you already know what this is in relationship to. And even if something is getting severed, there's already been groundwork that's been laid. So you'll have sort of that premonition of knowing what subject matter this is going to be about, whether this is going to be about your relationships or whether this is going to be about your own personal growth journey. And potentially, I mean, this could also be a card that represents you cutting out a bad habit. It could be that, right? So this has a spectrum of meanings here, but definitely what I would be also paying attention to, if you follow your chart, if you follow astrology, is Mars's movements. Okay, Mars was just in Cancer, very uncomfortable, not happy. Cancer, that Mars would have been making a sextile to whatever is in your sign. So whether we're talking your sun sign, your rising sign, or your moon sign, or any other placements that you have here in Virgo, Mars would have been making a sextile, but Mars was in an uncomfortable position there in Cancer. It was, in a touchy-feely, very sensitive, mothering, feminine energy, in contrast, and watery, by the way, and that's in contrast to Mars's fiery, cutting, go-getter, very masculine energy. So it was already in an uncomfortable position, and it was and has been and will remain to be in this engagement with Pluto, an opposition to Pluto that's going to continue all the way through spring of next year. So even though Mars's movements have moved out of Cancer, Mars is now in Leo and then is going to retrograde back into Cancer. So we've gone from it being a sextile to squaring now that Mars has moved into Leo. That Mars energy is going to be squaring your Virgo placements. So I would really look at the house where this is falling for you, because that's going to also give a little bit of insight into how this energy is going to continue to unfold. What areas of life are really being touched by the tension would be one thing. And how does that relate to your Virgo energy, whether that is in the first house if you're a rising sign, or, you know, another house in your chart. Okay, and then your last message here, it comes with Pleiadian energy. It's the 7 star sisters, which is often referred to as the Pleiadian energy is referred to the 7 sisters. And this is about really this very divine, high vibrational level of consciousness for you to tune into, to get inspiration from, to pull upon in order to create the life that you really want for yourself. And this could be about creating the life of your dreams, birthing new creations into your life. But this is also about the beautiful tapestry of life and how everything unfolds in this divinely orchestrated manner, and that it's not some type of fated event, but that you have this ability to breathe life into it, breathe your expression into it, breathe your inspiration and your love into it. And what are you breathing into? You know, as you're awakening up into your remembrance that you are this divine creator self who has done this before, right? You're remembering that you have a higher plan, and that it's not just about, you know, potentially what you had started to build your life and your goals upon. Now you're recognizing, in order to truly get this contentment, this peace, and this abundance, my intuition is guiding me into creating something really potent for myself. And in the process, there may be things that need to be released, that need to be severed, right? Okay, Virgo, well, I hope this reading has helped you. I hope that you get some support from these messages and maybe some confirmation for whatever you're working through. I wish you all the best and appreciate you in advance for any likes, any comments that you leave me. If there's anything in particular, any questions you'd like me to do a reading on, throw that down in the comments or let me know how this lands. And I hope that you will consider subscribing to the channel. I am looking to grow my channel, grow my supporters, and it truly does help. I'm very grateful. Take good care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.